Slack attack.
Hey! Sung to the tune of AC/DC's Back in Black. The Slack is back! He's got your back. You stick with him and you won't get whacked. Yeah. Okay, I'll do it Bon Scott style. The Slack is back! He's got your back! Stick with him and you won't get whacked. Damn, I don't know how he does it. Yeah, humble apologies to the late great Bon. Actually, that wouldn't be Bon Scott. That would be his replacement. What's his name? Brian Johnson. Any DC fans out there? Yeah, Brian Johnson. That would be Brian Johnson who sang Back in Black. That was their first album after the demise of the late great Bon Scott. Okay. Anyways, I'm back. Sorry for my absence. I had to take some time off to stockpile some videos. I was just so tired of being chronically behind in video production. I'm running 2 walkthroughs, Elden Ring walkthroughs. Elden Ring real walkthroughs are extremely demanding because of the game's difficulty. Yeah, they just take a lot of time to produce, and I'm running 2 walkthroughs, one here, and in case you don't know, a prisoner walkthrough over on my other channel, MajorSlack Videos. There's a link in the video description of all my videos in this walkthrough to my other walkthrough. Alright, and there's also a link to the playlist of this walkthrough in all the videos of this walkthrough. Alright, so I'm back. Thanks for your patience. I promised you 3 ways to beat RADAHN. I've been experimenting extensively with the Greatbow, and I'm sorry, there's just really only one way to beat RADAHN. The Greatbow method just totally kicks ass. It dwarfs the other strategies by a long shot. But just for posterity, I'm going to throw in the Rotten Breath method and the just run at him and melee attack him on your horse method, both of which are far inferior. But anyways, I'll throw them in because I promised you. Let's start with the Greatbow method. Everybody should have the Greatbow in their possession if you've been following this walkthrough. Let me just load everything up in the order I want. I want Roger's Rapier for the Golden Vow buff first, and then let's put the Greatbow. There it is. And finally, the Bloodhound's Fang. And we don't need this. And for armor, we're going to use the scaled armor, even though we're probably going to do a no damage run. But put on your best, physical damage armor that you can muster up. If you're following this walkthrough, it should be the scaled armor set. Even though it's going to put you into heavy load, don't worry about it. We're not going to be moving around much. And for talismans, the Arsenal Charm +1, and the Arrow Sting Talisman, and the Arrow's Reach Talisman. Don't need Pumpkinhead, and let's set the flasks to 6 and 4. What did I say? 6 and 6. Yeah, nice even mix. And finally, let's put the Rain of Arrows on the Greatbow. This is nuts. Why do you see this on RADAHN? It totally punks him. Totally punks him. It's not going to stand a chance. Okay, having done that, let's upgrade the Greatbow to +13. Your mileage may vary, but I have some smithing stones 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I have 2 5s. So we need to buy 6 1s, 6 2s, 10 3s, and 5 4s, and we got the money. Let's go do it. Okay, what did I say? 6 1s, 6 2s, 10 3s, and 5 4s. And I've got 2 5s in my possession. Right, we'll be able to upgrade that to the Greatbow to +13. It will cost about 17,000 runes to do that. Well worth it. It's going to be a great heavy hitting weapon that'll serve us well throughout the rest of the game.
Well, I took you've no matter lay out your own.
Alright, here we go. Greatbow up to +13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and that'll leave us 2,600 runes. And we're missing 4 smithing stones, 5, to take it up to 14. Alright, so that's the end of the line. Next, I'm going to show you where you can buy an infinite supply of great arrows. So if you might ever want to resupply, they are expensive, but with the Rain of Arrows, Ash of War on the Greatbow, you basically turn each arrow into 15 arrows, so it's well worth it. Even if they're like, you know, 300 runes each, it's well worth it to buy some. This is found at the 9th Mount Gelmir campsite. There is a whole bunch of golden runes here at the first Mount Gelmir campsite. Let's go there first. Okay, I left these behind when I was speed running through to the Volcano Manor. Let's pick them up now. I believe that's all of them. Yep. Okay, next. 9th Gelmir campsite. Ninth Mount Gelmir campsite. Here, you have 2 choices. You can fight the guys on the other side of the bridge, or you could just speed run across the bridge to the ladder that takes you down to the merchant. Let's just speed run across. Okay, so you're gonna go across the bridge to the east, into this campsite. Go to the left here. Go into this campsite. You're gonna find this sloping rock. Let's just grab this sloping rock here, up here, and turn back to the east. And you're gonna find a ladder going down. Grab that ladder, and down you go. Whee! They may follow you down, but if they do, they're basically sitting ducks.
Welcome.
Or they're just gonna die.
Right this way.
Have a nice trip. See you next fall. Here's another one. Any more? Because I could do this all day. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to spend my remaining runes on great arrows. As expensive as they are, I think they're a great investment. Okay, 300 runes each. I could buy 10. And that will leave me with 272 runes to spend the rest of that on regular arrows. That'll just leave me 32 runes. Okay, and yep, that's the usual procedure before going into any boss fight. Spend all your runes, so if you screw up, you don't have much to lose. Alright, so let's go do it. The RADAHN boss fight takes place at Castle Redmane, way down here in Caelid. Start off at the Impassable Great Bridge. Since we already went to the Altus Plateau, we used the Grand Lift of Dectus. As soon as you use the Grand Lift of Dectus, everything at the Redmane Castle changes temporarily and basically advances right to the RADAHN Festival. Okay, so just take that waygate you found right outside the Impassable Great Bridge, and that'll teleport you right inside the Redmane Castle area. Okay, so basically went from here to here. Right, and once inside, everything's pretty calm. Although, if you did not use the Grand Lift of Dectus, then this will be full of enemies. But if you're following this walkthrough, it should be pretty calm. Hit up the site of grace here. And the whole thing kicks off by talking to that guy up there, right? As soon as we approach, he's going to start with a little speech about the festival.
Champions, welcome. The stars have aligned. The festival is nigh. General RADAHN, mightiest demigod of the Shattering, awaits you. Champions, prepare for battle. Defeat the general, claim glory, and grab that great rune. A celebration of war. The RADAHN Festival!
Alright, and let's go have a little chat. Alright, you seem to be the head honcho here. What's up?
Are you good and prepared, young chum? The festival begins.
Ready as I'll ever be.
Before we begin, allow me to paint you the full picture. General RADAHN is cursed ever to wander. Eaten from the inside by Melania's scarlet rot, his wits are long gone. Now he gathers the corpses of former friends and foes alike, gorging on them like a dog. Howling at the sky. But now, we must make merry.
Okay.
Oh, gathering of champions! The revels begin! The celebration of war! The RADAHN Festival!
Done and done. So, this will open up a door right here behind that that chair there. Previously that would be locked. Now it's open, and now that you've talked to him. Before you go in, you want to pick up this somber smithing stone 5 or 6? 5 here. And a regular smithing stone 6 at the back of the church. Done and done. And now we're going to take the elevator down. And that, in that big field there, is where the RADAHN boss fight takes place. You can't use any of your spirit ashes, but you have about half a dozen NPC summons that you can call up. It's pretty cool. You basically have a whole army of NPC summons that you can call up, and they're all like available. Typically the summon signs are at all those like ghostly banners there. The first batch is, I believe it's right there. Anyways, I'll show you once we get into the battlefield. Alright, now I'm going to hand this on over to GamerSlack, who's going to do this without commentary, and I'm going to dub in the commentary because I want to exit and back up the save so I can show you the 3 different methods, because obviously once I beat him, I won't be able to show you the methods, so I'm going to have to copy and backed up saves and then show you the other methods. Alright, so GamerSlack, take it away. Okay, the Greatbow method. The improved Greatbow method. Here we go. We have a plus 13 Greatbow, and I forgot to equip the great arrows. I'm going to do that once I get in. Even having done that, made that mistake. It's still okay. And cast a Flask of Wondrous Physic with the strength and dexterity knots in it, and switch over to the Greatbow. Keep your shield up and go in, and as soon as you go in, you're gonna pull back on the joystick right away. Like, just run away immediately, because he's gonna be firing these magic arrows, and it only take 2 of them to kill you. As soon as it pops, turn around and block. You can block them and you'll take very little damage. And once you get far enough away from him, he will stop firing the magic arrows pretty much as soon as you go that past this little bit of debris here. And now we're going to go and activate 3 NPCs right there. Okay, and I'm going to equip my Greatbow, get it ready. Get on the horse. RADAHN will stop firing arrows. He'd be shooting off in the distance somewhere. See, shooting off in the distance. So you have a bit of time. Quickly activate these 3 NPC summons. Then we're going to turn to the north and rush over and activate Tragoth. And there's that casual greeting gesture they always give you, and I kind of fumble fingers just a bit. And activated him. Now you're going to turn to the south and run away to drag RADAHN into your NPCs. Once you've gone far enough south, you can turn back to the east and go and activate Alexander, which is right here. Once you've activated Alexander, you've got 5 guys on RADAHN taking his attention away from you. And now you're just going to fire rain of arrows on top of him. And I forgot, like I said, I forgot to equip great arrows. Cost me a bit of time here, but it's no biggie. And here we go. Watch how much damage it does when it lands. That one missed. But just keep firing. See that? That's 1 arrow. There's another arrow. Seeing this, people? It's absolutely nuts. When they land right on top of him, it just does a colossal amount of damage. And he's about to go into second phase. Just keep firing until he goes into second phase and or you run out of FP. Just keep firing. Because you can do a lot of damage before he... There, as soon as he shoots up in the sky, he's gone into second phase. Now you want to gallop towards the top of the hill towards the east. Sometimes I activate patches on the way up, but it doesn't really matter. And double jump when the shooting star lands. He always does the same thing. He shoots up and then he comes down as a shooting star. Now you're going to just watch and see what he does. See if he's engaged with any remaining NPCs. If so, continue the barrage of rain of arrows. And as you see, we got him by the nuts now. We got him cold. Almost dead. One more shot. There we go. That's pretty much a no damage run. Except for the little hit I took from blocking his magic arrow in the beginning, which is unavoidable. But yeah, pretty much a no damage run. So there you go. My favorite method of taking down RADAHN. The Greatbow. Kicks ass. And you don't have to get close to him at all. You know. Keep your distance and rain those arrows down upon him. Now this will open up a big crater in Mistwood, just south of Mistwood, and going down the crater will give you access to a new area called Nokron, the Eternal City. See, that's what just happened. Star Scourge RADAHN fell down as a falling star and blasted this whole... There you go. That's what happened. So we're going there later on in the walker to explore that new area. And that new area is indicated by the red mark in the map in the Mistwood Forest area. I'll show you that later. For now, the game gives you these RADAHN spears, which do extra damage against gravity enemies. The wiki doesn't mention that it does extra damage against RADAHN, but he is actually a gravity enemy. I did some testing and it seems that actually I'm not at all conclusive on that yet. I think they do extra damage against RADAHN. At any rate, I don't think it's worth it collecting them for the RADAHN fight because you're wasting valuable time. You want to keep the jump on them, you know. But the game will give you 20 of these great arrows. This goes along with the Greatbow. They're called RADAHN Spear. Okay, so a batch of 4, a batch of 6, and a batch of 10. So now you got even more great arrows. Make sure you collect those before you exit this area. You can always come back here anyways in case you forgot. And only 2 things remain. Talk to Blythe and talk to Alexander, which I'm going to do first thing next video. For now, I'm going to show you the other 2 methods of taking down RADAHN. Just want to activate this set of grace here. And there's Blythe. and down there is Alexander. Right there. Alright. Alright, now let's say you have the Greatbow, but you don't feel like investing all the money and buying all the smithing stones to upgrade it. This is the exact same strategy with just the default Greatbow. Okay? Just like Greatbow plus 0. Exact same strategy. Same gear. Same shield. Everything the same. Takes a little longer, but it still works. Flask of Wondrous Physic with Strength and Dexterity, Crystal Knot Tears in it, Golden Bow buff, switch to the Greatbow, in you go. Pull back on the joystick right now, before you even go in, and get ready to hit the ground running away. Look in the distance, watch for that arrow to pop. Ready, it pops, turn around, block, take very little damage. Get far enough away, and get ready, get your Greatbow ready. And same deal. This took a little more running around because, like I said, you don't take them down as fast, but you still do, how should we say, respectable damage. Activate these 3 guys. Run over to Tragoth. Great Horn Tragoth. Is this Great Horn Tragoth? Yeah. Oh no, Okina. Sorry. That's Okina. And then to the south. And then back to the east. And this will summon Alexander. And here I decided to pick up RADAHN spears right there. I don't know why I was being kind of cheeky, but you don't have to do that. It's better to do that later. And same deal. As you can see, still taking a ton of damage. Even with a non-upgraded Greatbow. And now I remember why I took those RADAHN spears, because I wanted to show you them in effect on RADAHN. Okay, now he's doing the purple clap. You always have to be careful when he does this, because he may disengage from your NPCs and come after you. So I always like displace at this point and then set back down if he's not coming after me. Okay, now he's gone into the second phase. Here I engaged Patches on the way up, although he just bails out as soon as you, like, you know. I grabbed some more RADAHN spears. I took a bit of a chance there with him coming down. And he has targeted me. So now I'm going to rush to the top of the hill. This is what I always do in this situation. Now I'm trying to bash through all the debris here, so that when I release the NPCs, they won't have anything blocking them. I'm just trying to stay down behind the hill, and hope that he's engaged someone. There he is, he's engaged someone. And now I decided to just go after him. He's coming after me. Bail out. If he's coming after you, always double jump away. So if he doesn't attack, there's a good chance it'll miss you if you continually double jump. And now I'm going to call up a whole bunch of NPCs over here. This would be the new army. Right, get behind them. And see, that guy got stuck behind that debris. That's why you always break down the debris with a horse, so that they can get through it. Okay, so they're on point. They're heading towards RADAHN. Keep behind them. And now I'm going to show you the RADAHN spears in effect, instead of the great arrows. You be the judge whether you do more damage or not. The wiki doesn't mention it as a gravity enemy that will take more damage on account of... I think maybe they do more damage. He is officially a gravity enemy. So... oh yeah, definitely. Anyways. It's a no-brainer. even with the default Greatbow. Okay, here's the Rotten Breath strategy. I find it much inferior to the Greatbow strategy, but it seems to be everybody's favorite. You're going to need the Rotten Breath spell, which we have. We don't have enough faith to cast it, but if we use the America's Scar Seal, we should be able to cast it. And yeah, this will put our faith up to 16. There we go. Rotten Breath requires 15. We have 16 faith, and I don't have it in the spell realm, so we just actually easily go back to here to chamber outside the plaza. Doesn't matter. All you have to do is just talk to the guy again, and we just skip through his dialogue and get back to the same spot. Alright, memorize spell, take that out, put Rotten Breath in. You're going to cast Rotten Breath with the Claw Mark Seal, which everybody has. That's it, and keep the same gear on for protection. Compared to the Greatbow strategy, I find this relatively risky, because you do have to get close enough to RADAHN to cast the Rotten Breath. Okay, let's just quickly jam through his dialogue. Yes, are ready as ever, Ruby.
Before we begin, allow me to paint. But now. Oh, the self.
Alright. There is also a trick with getting RADAHN to smash into the sea when he, like during his second phase, when he comes down as a shooting star. It's really finicky to try and pull that off. I find it's more trouble than it's worth. And the exact spot you have to be, it's hard to find. If you're playing online, everyone's left a whole bunch of messages at that spot. There's no guarantee that he'll do that. A lot of people have reported that, you know, they tried to do that, it just simply didn't work. It's not really worth the trouble in my humble opinion, but I know about that trick. Tried it many times, couldn't get it to work, couldn't be bothered. It's just better to just Rotten Breath him in both phases. Okay, so the strategy is exactly the same as the Greatbow. Get all the NPCs spawned, and then get close and Rotten Breath them. You do it by either 2 short blasts or 1 long blast. I prefer the 1 long blast method. Alright, so here we go. Here we go. Pull back on the joystick immediately, like right now, so that you hit the ground running as soon as you get in. Okay, hit the ground running. Watch that arrow in the distance, wait for it to pop. It pops, turn around, block. Keep pushing back. Push well back. At this point, he should be completely disengaged. So, get on your horse. Make sure he's not targeting you. He's not targeting us, this is great. 1, 2, 3, horse. Push to the north. Activate that guy. Horse. Push to the south. Double jump if necessary. Heal up. Keep pushing to the south. Get away. Then push to the east. Engage this guy. And now it's just a matter of getting close. Casting Rotten Breath. Now. Okay, and you'll know he's poisoned when he's got like red fumes coming off him. See, he's got red fumes coming off him. And just watch his damage bar too, and you see his damage is constantly going down. So now you know he's poisoned. And that's it. Just wait for him to kick into his second phase. Stay far away from him. Usually I like to hang out down near the coast. And when he goes into the second phase, we're going to gallop towards the mountaintop and get ready to double jump when he just before he lands, so that you don't take damage. It's a good time to refill. And he's going into the second phase. He's going to shoot up. There we go. So let's gallop towards the top of the hill. Get ready to double jump as he lands. And up, but up. Okay, you don't take any damage. Gallop all the way to the top of the hill. Bash through all the debris. Okay, and activate all these NPCs here. And you can get behind the hill for cover in case you take a hit, like that. Okay. Okay, and now it's the same thing. It's a matter of getting close. And rotten breath him. There's one left here. There you go. You can also rotten breath him on the horse, as I just demonstrated. I find you have more maneuverability on foot, me personally, but you may prefer doing it on the horse. But you can make a faster getaway on the horse. So it's like half a dozen of one, six of the other. Anyway, he's done for. Oh yeah, and I should have advised you to set your flash to, like, say 10 and 2. 2 FP, 10 HP, because you don't need much FP to pull this off. And he's almost dead. There you go, that's it. So that's the rotten breath strategy. I much prefer the Greatbow strategy. It's very clean. You see, you can always keep your distance, and it just kicks his ass. And besides, now you got a plus 13 Greatbow. All kinds of other uses throughout the rest of the game. And finally, the ride at him and whack him with your sword on the horse method, the least sophisticated method, but it works. If you want to keep it simple. You can take some heat doing this, but it's very simple and effective. Okay, here we go, the brute force strategy. This is with the Bloodhound's Fang. And we're going on the horse. We probably won't need much FP at all, so as before, you can go back to the chamber outside the plaza, reset your flasks. I would say you may want to do a couple of Bloodhound's finesses, maybe one or two, but basically set all your flask charges to the HP side. Okay, so I'm going 10 and 2. And that's it. No prep, just the Bloodhound's Fang. And we're going to use the same buffs. Flask of Wondrous Physic, Golden Vow, and then switch to the Bloodhound's Fang, get on the horse, chase him around.
The stars have aligned. The festival is... Are you good? The festival.
Ready as I'll ever be.
Before we begin, allow me to paint you the...
But now... Oh, the cell...
I'm only including this because this was actually the very first strategy I ever beat RADAHN with before I got more sophisticated. So I think it's worthy of mention. It does work. Okay, so lots of HP flasks. You are going to take some heat, but you only have two things to do: hit him while you're running around on the horse, and heal yourself. That's it. Like I said, it's very simple, but it's also the most risky strategy, right? So same deal as before: Flask of Wondrous Physic, Golden Bow. Switch to the Bloodhound's Fang. In you go. Pull back on the joystick as soon as you're in. Or even before you're in. Wait for that arrow to pop. It pops, turn around, block it. Take very little damage. Back off to make sure he's disengaged. And let's go for it. Same deal as the Greatbow. We're going to set off all the NPCs. Really hate the fact that they force feed you that gesture right after like RADAHN approaches. I think that's a cheap trick on the part of the game. I mean, come on. I don't need to, like, you know, confirm that I've received this gesture right at the beginning of a boss fight, you know. Okay, so that's it. All the NPCs are set off. Get on your horse, target him, and usually I like to use strong attacks to spam the strong attack button. You see this, people? Skipped the first phase entirely. See this? That's it. It's effective. It's risky though, but it's effective. See, it's like I kept the pressure on. Skipped, or rather, not the first phase. Skipped the second phase entirely. Did that several times before. Not guaranteed, but there's a good chance you'll skip the second phase entirely because you just keep the pressure on him so much that he doesn't have a chance to like get set and pop off into the sky and go into a second phase. So basically I was just spamming strong attacks throughout the whole thing. Spamming strong attacks. Whenever I took some heat, gobble down that health potion, and then just keep locked on, keep chasing right after him, keep right up his ass, and spam that strong attack button. That's it. It's very simple. So there you go. 3 different methods of beating RADAHN. Take your choice, whichever one appeals to you the most. I know which one I like. And we're going to pick up with all the... We're going to talk to... what's his face? Blythe, and Alexander. First thing next video, because I want to switch back to my my Greatbow save where I beat him with the Greatbow. Okay, so that's it. I'm gonna call it. Thanks a lot for watching. Like I promised, there you go. 3 different methods of beating RADAHN. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe and post a comment and tell your friends about my channel, and I'll see you next time for some more Elden Ring. Hey guys, real walkthroughs like these are an endangered species here on YouTube. For a complete lowdown on the YouTube video game walkthrough scene, check out my Patreon page and please consider making a donation to yours truly, Major Slack, to help keep real walkthroughs alive on YouTube. You can donate as little as $1. That's $1, that's all. That's all it takes, alright? Thanks a lot, really appreciate it.